Tonight on Business Live, national exercise to clean up the over-bloated payroll system begins at the Internal Audit Agency. We'll hear from the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission.
This exercise is not a joke. It's a very serious exercise. If you know you are not deserving of what you are taking, advise yourself accordingly.
Also, some oil marketing companies review prices of petroleum products at the pumps today, with the price of LPG also going down by some 5%. Ahead will engage Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association. Plus, government set to turn attention to external creditors on reaching a debt restructuring deal after securing Parliament's approval for 3 key revenue measures critical in getting an IMF bailout. I am Beverly Broohm. These and more coming up shortly. Please stay. To the details now, and the national exercise to clean the country's payroll system has begun this morning at the Internal Audit Agency. The move is aimed at cleaning the over-bloated payroll structure at all public sector institutions. Executive Secretary of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Ben Arthur, has been addressing journalists before commencing the exercise.
The decision by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to conduct the payroll monitoring is aimed at ensuring fairness in the salary structure for public workers. Another objective is to also reduce the overburden on government wages, which takes up majority of revenues from the budget. According to Executive Secretary of the Fair Wages and Salary Commission, Ben Arthur, sanctions will be applied to persons found earning undeserved salaries.
This exercise is not a joke. It's a very serious exercise. If you know you are not deserving of what you are taking, advise yourself accordingly. If in our operations we come across those who are not benefiting from certain allowances and they have even been misplaced as far as grade is concerned, we'll have to take steps to correct same. If we find out that people fraudulently are receiving, salaries, unearned salaries, if I should so call it, we will definitely contact or liaise with the appropriate authorities to take the necessary action. So wherever you are, you must know that the payroll monitoring is ongoing. Some of them might be waiting to see the face of the Chief Executive of Fair Wages. It might not happen so.
Director General of the Internal Audit Agency, Eric Odrosai, said the agency will support the initiative to come out with the best outcome.
This assignment in collaboration with Fair Wages and Salaries Commission is critical because the payroll compensation budget of government is getting higher and higher, and we need to clean it up. And the best way is to ensure that this collaboration works. There are issues of missing names, there are issues of unknown names, there are issues of people with different dates of birth, there are issues of people using other people's vehicles for car maintenance allowance and all of that. Sections 96 and 98 of the PFM Act is clear that if you earn unearned salary or you contravene the Public Financial Management Act by way of getting government money into your account illegally, you can be sanctioned.
A dedicated account has been created at the Bank of Ghana for corporates to voluntarily return any payment that is not justified.
Now, some oil marketing companies have begun reviewing prices of petroleum products at the pumps from today. The expected price reduction should have commenced from last Saturday. Goil has taken the lead, selling a litre of petrol at 12 cedis 65 pesos and diesel for 12 cedis 84 pesos. Also, Star Oil is selling a litre of petrol at 11 cedis 69 pesos, whilst petrol is going for 12 cedis 69 pesos per litre. The adjustment shows that petrol has gone down by a little over 2%, while diesel has been reviewed by almost 5%. It is expected that more OMCs will adjust their prices at the pumps later today. Oil prices have surged after several of the world's largest exporters announced surprise cuts in production. The price of Brent crude oil is trading above $84 a barrel after jumping by more than 5%. The increase came after Saudi Arabia Iraq and several Gulf states said on Sunday they were cutting outputs by more than 1 million barrels of oil a day. Meanwhile, the price of liquefied petroleum gas has also gone down by some 5%. Joining us via Zoom for more is Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association, Gabriel Kumi. Gabriel, thank you so much for your time here. We are learning LPG prices have gone down by 5%. Tell us more.
Good evening, and thank you for having me. Yes, indeed, LPG price has gone down by about 5%, going down from about 13.2 per kilo for the last window to about 4.4 per kilo this window. Earlier on, there were projections that LPG was going to go down by about 9-10%, but unfortunately, that did not happen. Mainly because those projections were made earlier part of the window when crude oil price was as low as $72 per barrel. But if you look at the end of last week, crude oil price shot up to about $85 per barrel. So that is what has accounted for our inability to reduce the price by that 9-10% as was projected earlier last window.
It could be the last time we engaged you here on the show. You ruled out the assertion that government's Gold for Oil program was yielding some results. Do you still hold the view?
We still stand by that. I mean, we are not seeing. The last time we spoke, I did indicate that government had to come up and explain clearly how the Gold for Oil is reducing prices, because this current reduction is purely as a result of the fact that crude oil price had gone down, price of finished product had also gone down, and the CD was also showing some appreciation. If, for instance, LPG is not part of the program, the product being traded for this Gold for Oil deal, and the factors influencing the downward trend of LPG are the same factors that are influencing the price of diesel and petrol. So it will be difficult for you to explain how LPG has gone down by 5%, but it has nothing to do with Gold for Oil. But diesel and petrol that has gone down by about 3% has to do with Gold for Oil. I am not saying government is not telling the truth, but all that we are saying is that government must sharpen its communication and let us know how the Gold for Oil is influencing these prices. Because from all indications, this reduction is not as a result of Gold for Oil.
But should we expect a further reduction in prices in the coming days?
That would be very difficult to predict because currently crude oil price is on the ascendancy. It's moving up now. We've moved from about $72 per barrel to about $85 per barrel currently. And the projection is that it's going to escalate them all. So, the positive side is that our city continue to show some appreciation. And I think that should be, we should say congratulations to government and urge government to do more to strengthen the city. But that it will all depend on the net effect of the strength of the city and the upward surge of the crude oil. If the net effect is negative, then we are likely to see a downward trend. But if it's positive, then we should expect an upward trend in the price of LPG going forward. But the indications are that by next window, from what we picked from today, by next window, the price of LPG is likely to go up.
Another development that has come up, Mr. Kumi, is that some outlets are not filling the cylinders to the required quantity. Are you aware of this? And what is your outfit doing about it?
Well, we will urge consumers to be very vigilant when they go to these outlets to fill their LPG. It's human beings who are handling this kind of thing. I mean, we have tried very, very, very hard to ensure that our guys at the station live up to standard. But you know, in every society, there are bad nuts who will try to take advantage of the situation. So we will urge our consumers to be very vigilant. I mean, now about 95% of the LPG stations are using dispensing machines to dispense the LPG. So when you get to the station, make sure that you watch the board, you watch the dispenser, the reading, to ensure that you are giving the quantity you are supposed to be given. Of course, if there is any cheating at the station, that will obviously not be sanctioned by our members. But as I did indicate, there are bad nuts in every institution, so long as it's a human institution. So it's not a general trend, but there are some few bad ones that I must admit that are trying to cheat our customers. But the vigilance of the consumer can avoid that.
Thank you so much, Gabriel Kumi, for your time here. He's the Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association. Now, away from that, government will now be turning its attention to its external creditors to try and close a deal with the International Monetary Fund. This was after it managed to secure Parliament's approval for the 3 key revenue measures needed to close an IMF deal for the country. My colleague George Riafe has more.
The approvals of these 3 key revenue measures didn't come easy, as it was characterized by some serious exchanges, forcing the Speaker at one point in time to suspend sitting. However, the majority caucus managed to use their numbers to push through these taxes after some agreements were reached. According to government, these taxes are part of the preconditions that are needed before it can go to the IMF board for approval of Ghana's economic program. So with these taxes passed, it is now left with government to finalize an agreement with the Bank of Ghana when it comes to the Memorandum of Understanding for zero financing of government's budget deficit for this year. The Finance Ministry claims it will now be focusing its attention on finalizing negotiations with external creditors, including China, so it can seek an IMF Executive Board approval for Ghana's economic program in the second quarter of this year. But for some businesses, the real test is whether government will be able to achieve projected revenue from these bills that has been passed by Parliament.
Now, Fitch Solutions has predicted that the Bank of Ghana will keep the policy rates on hold at 30.5% in 2024. This is coming after the central bank adjusted its key lending rate to banks at 29.5% last week. Here's more in this Business Desk report.
Fitch Solutions said while inflation will moderate further in 2024, it's unlikely the Bank of Ghana will start easing monetary policy. Indeed, under an expected International Monetary Fund program, the central bank will likely be encouraged to keep the policy rate elevated to strengthen its monetary policy framework. Furthermore, the return of positive real interest rates will result in more capital inflows, mitigating risk to Ghana's external position. It forecasts inflation to average 37.6% in 2023. As such, it believes that policymakers will remain focused on controlling price growth in the near term as they aim for a more substantial disinflation trajectory before concluding the tightening cycle.
Welcome back. We take a look at some other stories now, and lack of information is affecting the development of domestic tourism in Ghana. This according to the Managing Director for Dancy Travels and Tours, Gideon Asari. Speaking to Joy Business at the 10th anniversary of his outfit, he called on the Ghana Tourism Authority and other stakeholders to embark on various sensitization programs to improve domestic tourism.
Some people ask me what is at all in Ghana for us to go and see, but I think that is because of lack of information. There's a lot. There are some places in Ghana, I always say when I take pictures, because I travel a lot, people think, oh, where is it? They're expecting an answer to say Maldives or Zanzibar, but I will say, oh, that will be some Kokrobite area. It's been challenging and at the same time amazing. Somebody asked, don't I get bored for managing one business for 10 years? I was like, every year and it's challenge. So the first part of Adanse the first 2-3 years, we were just focused on doing domestic tours, that is moving Ghanaians in and around Ghana. And then from 2016, we started focusing on outbound, like taking people out of Ghana to other countries, including Dubai. And then in 2018, we started focusing on inbound to add to it. And then it's been like that. So within the 10 years, we touched every bit of the tourism, domestic, inbound, outbound, and now we are full-fledged. So we do everything. We do inbound, we do domestic, which we are proud of to sell Ghana to other countries around the world. So
we turn to agriculture now, and the Dean of School of Agriculture at the University of Ghana, Professor Irene Ejire, has advised farmers to run their farms as a business and choose seeds or agriculture practices that will increase yields. Speaking at an event named Third Movers Connect, Let's Talk Seeds, organized by Ghana Food Movement, she emphasized that the industry cannot avoid modernization in a changing world.
Ghana Food Movement, a non-profit advocating sustainable agriculture, organized at Third Movers Connect, Let's Talk Seeds, highlighting the importance of improving the financial well-being of farmers. The Dean of School of Agriculture at the University of Ghana, Professor Irene Ejire, urged farmers to treat agriculture as a business to enable them break even.
When you talk about agribusiness, it's not about the farm. It is also about this person who is organizing the seed and bringing it onto the market. What kind of seed is important? And that's why I have said that for some of my agriculture, if I get the original seed and it will give me yields and give me whatever I want, I will trade in it. If I get the conventional seed or the exotic seed and it will give me whatever it is, and everything, there are trade-offs. So we don't say that when you use the chemicals, there won't be residues and you will not have problems. But what we do is to manage either at the farm site or when it gets to the processing site, we do things to minimize the toxicity. We cannot cut off modern agriculture just because of health. We are 8 billion in the world, 30 million in Ghana. What should we do? We should explore ways of always getting food on the market at affordable prices.
An agric expert, Emmanuel Saki, reiterated the significance of the plant variety protection in encouraging modernized agriculture in Ghana.
In order to feed the population, we have to ensure that we have improved varieties to be able to take care of the population. Sometimes there's a lot of confusion about GMOs and then the transgenic plants, and then whether what we are growing to eat is harmful to us or not. But we believe that scientific interventions in the form of providing improved varieties are very helpful. Some of them come from the very traditional varieties that we are using, and some of them have also been researched in the laboratory, and there are safeguards regarding all of them. So we believe that this new law that the government has put in place will help our breeders to be able to produce better varieties for us, in the staples that we eat in Ghana, and then also other crops which are not well eaten in Ghana. And all these things, I believe, are helping to make our agricultural systems enhance, and then also to bring about agricultural productivity.
Co-director of the Ghana Food Movement, Amy Wallen, explained the motivation to start a conversation on seeds.
We organize this conversation because we think it's important to bring the topic of seed close to everyone, all of us consumers as well. Because we realize that seeds are quite tricky to understand. It very easily gets very technical, and we think that more of us should engage in the conversation because we all eat and all of our food comes from seeds, right? And also to realize that there is such a divide in the seed debate that I think most people don't even know about.
And finally, before we go, the facility manager for Atlantic Mall Ghana, Angela Sante, has promised to support the quest to provide jobs for the Ghanaian youth. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of the mall at Atomic Junction here in Accra, she revealed that the company will position itself to invest in other sectors of the economy and provide a wide array of services and an unbeatable shopping experience.
Located at Atomic Junction roundabout in the North Legon area near the University of Ghana, the Atlantic Shopping Mall is expected to attract thousands of shoppers daily, both far and near. The mall, which is owned by Medco, houses over 40 shops. The shopping mall features a wide range of local and international brands such as The Outlets, Palace, Mabel Kids Shop, among others. According to the facility manager, her outfit is willing to contribute to the local economy.
We are excited to bring a new level of convenience and accessibility to the people of Accra and North Legon. With this new shopping mall, it is our hope that it would not only be a place to shop, but also a place to dine, a place to gather, connect, and create memories with family and friends. As you walk through the doors of this shopping mall, you'll be greeted by a world-class shopping experience. Our retailers are some of the most respected and successful in the industry, and they are excited to bring their products to the people of North Legon and of Accra. From fashion and beauty to electronics and home goods, entertainment, good food, and banking services, there is something here for everyone.
Chief Executive Officer for Bro Ghana, Tony Setre, was optimistic that the mall will create more jobs for the youth.
We recognize the important role this mall will play in the creation of jobs and generation of revenue for the local economy. Mr. Chairman, you will agree with me that the construction of this facility has already employed many Ghanaian artisans, architects, plumbers, surveyors, electricians, masons, carpenters, engineers, project managers, amongst many others. And the tenants and retailers within the mall, you will agree, will further help create additional job opportunities for our people. But the real benefits of this mall, Mr. Chairman, extends beyond the economic sphere. The Atlantic Mall will also provide a world-class shopping experience for Ghanaians and the visitors alike.
The Atlantic Mall project, which sits on approximately 13,000 meters square of retail space, was completed within 24 months. It has a spacious and secure parking bay for customers.
That's all for Business Live tonight. Thank you so much for your time here. For more business news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I'm Beverly Broohm. I leave you with your money tip on Money Lab.
Hi there. Welcome back to Money Lab. My name is Nadole Avevo and I'm your life insurance friend. On our last episode, we looked at the types of life insurance products on our market. Today, I'll be sharing tips on what you need to know before you buy a life insurance product. Now, my best advice to you is, man, know thyself. Now, what are your needs and what are the products on the market? If you want to buy a product to cover you for 5 years, do not buy a whole life insurance product. Now, if you want a product that gives you the opportunity or flexibility to withdraw cash as and when you need, buy a savings-linked product and not a whole life insurance product. See you next time on Money Lab.